What's up, guys? My name is Castle Vania. I'm here with my good friend David Alexander from Icon Collective.
We're back.
So you're watching the 6th video in our video series on music theory. Today we're going to talk about sus chords. We've already spoken a good bit about chords. We showed you sort of the more basic chords that you would use, mainly being major and minor, but we've also shown diminish in
And we've inverted the chords too.
We've inverted the chords. Today we're going to get a little more advanced and get into sus chords and showing you how changing just one note in those chords can give you a bit of a different feel to the chords that you're using.
Exactly. So the idea of a sus chord is basically changing the middle note when a chord is in root position. And how do you know what note to change it to? Well, generally, if we're talking about chords that belong to a scale, you want to stay using the notes that are inside the scale. So here's an example. Here's C minor, right? So the middle note is E flat, and the notes that are in the scale are D and F because the C minor scale looks like this, right? So the idea of a sus chord is short for suspending the middle note and replacing it with another one, usually what they call the 2, the one before it, or the 4, the one after it. And it sounds like this. So here's the regular chord. I'm suspending it for the 2nd note. Now I'm suspending it for the 4th note. And that's basically the concept. It's as easy as that.
Super simple.
Super simple, but very effective.
Yeah, I mean, I love using this. I use suspended chords all the time in my tracks.
Yeah, and
so.
we may even play an example at the end of the video.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where you did that. And I love that track, by the way. Yeah,
thanks, man.
Banging. Makes me move my shoulder every time.
Going hard with the shoulder.
Yeah, I love it. But there is one thing to keep in mind, that not all the chords in the scale are going to respond well to moving that middle note around. Specifically, the 5th note in the scale. If we look at C minor, it would be G minor. Notice that if I move this down to the next note in the scale, which is A flat, ooh, that's kind of jarring and dissonant, right?
Right, yeah. And the main reason for that is these two notes kind of rubbing against each other. So you want to kind of look out and try to keep at least 2 semitones or 2 half tones separation between your notes. Right.
Basically, every other chord that I can think of the other 6 are fair game.
Within the scale, yeah.
Here's E flat, F minor, then the one that doesn't work. Dissonant, right? We'll stay away from that. Here's a 6th chord, and B flat, the 7th chord. You get a lot of mileage out of that. So you could have a simple progression, but then you slash it. So, you know, as with everything, you don't want to slash every single chord in your progression. But
should we maybe record something in and play it back for them?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so maybe play one time through in root position and one time through just sussing some chords.
All right, we'll suss it out right now.
Cool. Here we go.
Okay. There's a couple of extra notes that we didn't pay for, so you can get rid of those.
All right.
So I'm playing in the key of C minor. The chords that I'm playing here are the 1st chord, C minor, the 7th chord, B flat major, and then I'm playing the 4th chord, but I'm inverting it, which is F minor. You can also look at some of the previous videos where we talk about the actual chords and the inversions if that doesn't make sense to you.
Cool. All right, so we're doing this totally on the fly here. We're just going to get creative and go in here and just suss out some chords and see what we end up with.
Nice. That 1st chord, that C minor, is in root position, so we do move the middle note, and what you did there was suspend the 3rd, and you're using the 2nd.
Yep. And we're going to go up on this one.
Notice that he didn't leave it on E because E is not part of the scale, so he had to jump up to F there.
And I'm just going to follow the same pattern here.
Nice. We'll keep a theme going. Again, sus2 there. sus4. And the last one could be a little tricky because you would think that you're moving the middle note, but because I inverted it, the middle note of the chord is actually the A flat on the bottom. And within the scale, we have the choices of B flat, which is 2 pitches above that, or G, which is 1 pitch below that.
So we'll do that. Oops. Cool. All right, so let's give it a listen. I'll play it from the very beginning so we can hear what we started with and then hear what happens with our sus chords.
I like it.
Cool, yeah, I mean, so that's one example of what you can do using sus chords, and of course you can also see how it allows you to start getting more creative and less vanilla with your chord progressions.
And a little goes a long way, guys, so, you know, you wouldn't necessarily, although you could.
Yeah, you don't have to sus every chord.
Right, but if you sus the right one, it could actually help you lead into the next chord. That's the beauty of sus chords.
Yeah, it can be a cool way to like tie some chords together. You know, again, just changing the flavors up.
Right, and also in the previous video we talked about slash chords. So if you sus a chord, that new note that you're adding could be a viable option as a bass line. Watch the previous video and that'll make sense. I think let's take it home, and why don't we play, what's the title of the track that you created using sus chords?
Yeah, well, I use sus chords quite a bit, but for this example, you guys will be listening to Play Loud.
Play Loud, awesome.
See you next time.
Enjoy the track.